I bought a bent Nintendo Switch off of eBay. I'm gonna swap out the LCD and the digitizer to another housing that's not bent, and overall get a better Nintendo Switch out of it. Let's see if it's worth it. Okay, I got two Nintendo Switches here. Bought this one salvage, this one as well. This one had a busted motherboard, so I've been using it for parts and just been cannibalizing it bit by bit. This one is fully functioning. The only issue with it is that it's got a... let me see if I can zoom in here. Alright, so the grill is smushed in and the frame has been bent, as well as it's got a couple of really deep dings here. This has been smacked around, so it's definitely been through a little bit of abuse. So what I'm going to do is, and if you look at the back, the grill here's smushed in. So this back case is bad. It looks like somebody rage quit and just got it like this and bent it a little bit, and it damaged this, but it works. The fan works, the switch works, everything on it's working. So what I'm going to do is, this will be a little bit different video because I know it's working. So it's not about fixing it, it's about how to... I'm going to remove the screen and the frame. I'm going to put the nicer screen on this one, on this switch, and the frame. But the LCD on this one, I'm not going to use. I'm going to use the LCD on this one because the LCD ribbon cable on this one's no good. You can see here, the ribbon cable on that's been damaged. So if that was the case, if this ribbon cable was working, then I wouldn't waste time. I would just transfer the motherboard over here, put all the components here, and call it a day. But because of that, I can't use this LCD screen. So I have to remove the digitizer and put the nice digitizer on this one, use the LCD on this one, and then remove all these components onto the nice sturdy frame on this one. So guts LCD will go here, and we're going to use this digitizer because it doesn't have any scratches on it. And then I also bought a new rear panel and the rear metal, and I might use, which I have somewhere in a box right now, the metal heat shield. I think I'll use it from this switch because I think on this one, we'll find out here when I open it up, I think on this one it got bent a little bit. So we'll make a nice, really nice, pretty switch out of these two here. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with the Y00. And you got 4 of these. You want to have is a mat or a cup or something where you can organize your screws. This one here is starting to wear out. So let me get a fatter one. I'm gonna go Y00. Here's my Y00. I think a Y00 would be better suited for that type of size. All right. Do Phillips 00 for the rails. Oh, there we go. So we got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Phillips screws. just have to take the well, it'd help if I put a Phillips in there. Just got to take the middle one out. Now we got 2 Phillips 000. And we would have another one here, but this piece broke off. It's part of the damage. All right, and just get my spudger. I'd like to pry it from here. And oh, one more. Another 000 right here by the memory card. And this one's kind of flat, so it's a little bit different in size than the others. Okay. Well, oh, and I got a kickstand for it too. So you can see this has been fairly used and abused. Okay. Got total of, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 000 Phillips. So let's go ahead and get these out. I like to put pressure down on it just to allow me to spin it. Alright, same thing on this spudger. Always want to use a plastic piece when you're prying things. These, from what I've noticed, looked up, these, we'll try to get a better angle for you. SD card connector breaks. I think it's got a lot to do with people grabbing and yanking these and just tearing them off the board completely. As you can tell, this frame, let's see if I can show it, it's kind of bent. You can see here it's got some markings where it was pushed in. When the pressure came, it bent it in this way. All right. So, how do I want to go about moving this? Let's go ahead and get this heat spreader off. I want to take a look at it. Once again, it is 3 000 Phillips screws. Just 3 of them. And now it should just come right off. It's stuck on there pretty well. All right. It's a little bent, but I wonder if I can just, yeah, it's not that bad. This is fine. I'm gonna use this one just because it's newer. This is from that Switch, and I think that's an older Switch. This part's bent. This isn't bent, so good piece. We're gonna use this. Okay, so I'm going to go with this now. We're gonna take off 2 more triple O screws, and this is for the headphone jack. And we got our first of many ribbon connectors. Cartridge reader. Oh, one more screw right here. Okay, I think we're good on getting the fan out. Okay. Oh, wow. Rookie mistake. I unplugged the battery. Always unplug the battery when you're working on electronics. Can't believe I forgot that. Rookie mistake. Yeah, you can short something out by messing with it, touching it with your bare hands without being grounded. Okay, let's see. I wanna... Next on my list is... Oh, looks like there's nothing else, which is the logic board. Gonna put neat thermal paste here. Thermal paste is kind of dry. Very dangerous here, the LCD. It's very prone to being damaged. This is the touch button, or the power and volume ribbon connector. Okay, all that remains is the audio. One thing I'll give Nintendo. Worked on a lot. This is my first Switch that I'm taking apart to this level. I've taken a bunch of 3DSs the last couple months apart, and they're building. What do I want to say here? Hold on. Okay. One thing I want to say, Nintendo keeps everything very the same from one generation to the other. So these latches, these ribbon connectors, very reminiscent of the 3DS, LCD and touch and all that stuff. They've gotten this stuff, what they've done, and perfected it and just made it even more powerful and more refined in their next product. But I've learned to be very delicate with these flaps, these ribbon connectors. These things can damage, these flaps can break. It's happened to me before, and I'm sure it'll happen on these with other people working on them. So you just gotta be very gentle when you're removing these things. You don't want to break anything and make life more difficult. Alright, with the most important thing out of the way, out of sight, comes the fun thing now. So I'm going to, well, not quite there yet. Let's remove the rails. So let's go ahead and remove these. A little bit of adhesive here. That's just real gentle. Got a rail removed. Alright, let's get the volume out, the battery out, and then we'll swap out screens. Okay. One of the hardest things to get out is this freaking battery. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a good entry point, and I'm thinking it's got to be right here. I hate to put so much pressure on this because you don't want to deform them. Alright, and a result in the heavy guns, I had to get rubbing alcohol and, well, I'm find the cap on this. Where are you, cap? Here it is. Okay, so let me explain what I did. So this thing was in there. I mean, no joke. They went crazy on the glue. This whole thing is just one big piece of really strong adhesive. So in order to get this out, put a little bit of rubbing alcohol here in the top. Cut a pick, so it was like so. Rubbing alcohol, and I just started to kind of do one of these. Not that easy though. A little bit more rubbing alcohol here, and then just kind of played with it in all the different angles until eventually it came out. Now I'm stealing screws. Put that back. Okay, so battery out. Now this is looking more like just a frame. So I think now it's time to get this screen out. Okay, so after taking them both apart, so we have two frames. This is the good frame, this is the bent frame. I did notice one thing that's gonna add more work to me. Wi-Fi cable, I got them on this bent frame. On this good frame, the white Bluetooth cable is broken, so I'm gonna have to tear this down even more. I was looking at it and I saw that we got some screws, so said, hey, what happens if I take these screws out and this outer shell comes out? So we got this antenna cable and this antenna cable. I need this one. This other one should be fine. So let's go back to it and see. This antenna cable was cut. That switch was hot garbage and a lot of things were broken on it. But the frame was good. Okay, let's get this one. Okay, let's do just a quick. So it's got a little slot. This board slides in there, and this little slot here, and this board slides into this little slot here. LCD. Let's go ahead and take care of the most delicate piece, that and the motherboard. It's LCD, I'm gonna put that back. Okay, so went ahead and I did some reassembly off camera. Putting the screen was a lot more work than what it's worth. To get this dust free and smudge free was a lot of work. I think for future reference I'll probably just buy the screen with LCD in the frame. It's not that much more money. But I was just being cheap and I had the parts laying around, so it is what it is. But as far as time is concerned, definitely not worth it, because it took me well over an hour to take this apart, swap it, and then clean it. So it's definitely a lot of work. Alright, but anyways, I got the rails installed, motherboard, battery, cartridge, fans, and gonna go ahead and put this, but before I do that, I wanted to remove this thermal paste. Okay, put a nice little dab thermal paste here. After all that hard work, was it worth it? Short answer, yes. After doing some digging around in eBay, you can find screen assemblies that have the screen all adhered, so you don't have to deal with the mess. of having to glue it on and making sure that it's dust free. But it does come at a financial cost, which might not be worth it depending on the screen condition. But overall, I'm happy with my results. I have now a fully functioning Nintendo Switch that's no longer bent. Remember, just because it's broken doesn't mean it's trash. See you guys in the next video.